Good morning, students. In the today's session, we'll learn about the network security attacks. Now, as part of our CN topics, here till now we have learned about what are the concepts of our, from all the layers, all the 7-layer concepts we have learned. Okay, and in the today's session, we'll learn about the network security attacks. Okay, that means it is just a part of like what type of attacks we can face with the network. All those concepts in the today's session we can learn. Now, here, whenever if we are learning about this network security attacks, we have n number of net attacks can be there. Okay, let me see here. Like whenever if we are learning about this attacks, the network security attacks encompass a wide range of malicious activities designed to compromise the confidentiality, integrity, as well as the availability of data and also resources within our computer network. The common types of network security attacks are the first one we can say with the malware. That means it is type of one, like it is designed to infect the systems and disrupt the normal operations. Okay, and we can also call it as one type of virus, steal as well as sensitive. It is going to steal the sensitive information or gain unauthorized access to the resources. And what is the prevention for this malware virus means here use antivirus software and keep the systems updated always. And we have to avoid the downloading of files from untrusted sources and educate the users about the safe online practices. The first common type of security attack is malware. Okay. And the next common type of security attack is what? Phishing. That means this phishing involves tricking individuals into revealing sensitive information, such as whenever it is going to make the username, password, or some financial details by using a trustworthy entity through deceptive emails, websites, and these days we are also getting the emails for getting the username and password. If we give the normal OTP answer, they'll get our complete data they used to get. Okay, what is a main prevention technique for this phishing attack is we have to implement the email filtering tools as well as we have to educate the users about the phishing techniques. Okay, and we have to use a multi-factor authentication. Only one range of authentication is not at all enough to overcome the this type of attacks, and we have to verify the URLs. That means only we have to use a secured URLs only. We have to use always for the computer network or everywhere we should use the proper URLs. Then only you can able to get the data. The data can be safe. Okay. And next here the third type of this attack is like the denial of service and distributed denial of service, DOS and DDoS. Okay. And here like these attacks flood a network service as well as the website with excessive traffic, causing it to become unavailable. And whenever we have these DDoS attacks, it involves the multiple compromised devices, often forming a botnet to launch coordinated attacks. And the prevention for this DDoS is we have to employ the firewalls and the intrusion prevention system and the DDoS protection services to mitigate the filter malicious traffic. Now, see in the next type of attack, what we have the man in the middle. That means here the man in the middle MITM attack, an attacker intercepts and forcefully alters the communication between two parties without their knowledge. And this can lead to theft of sensitive information from the unauthorized access. Okay. And what is the prevention technique for this is here we can use some encryption techniques we have to use, and we have to implement the secure communication policies, and regularly we have to monitor the network traffic as well as the unusual parties. Okay. Here if we should avoid all this, then only it is possible. And what is mean with this SQL injection? Here whenever if there was any problem with the database code, okay, here the SQL injection involves injecting malicious SQL code into input field and manipulate the database. Attackers can gain unauthorized access and they modify the data, and they can also execute the here without giving any grant privileges, they can able to access our data. Now, what is a preventive technique for this SQL injection attack is validate and sanitize the user inputs, and we have to use the parameterized queries, as well as we have to apply the principle of least privilege to database accounts. Then only it is possible. Now, here the next attack is like we have learned with the SQL injection. Next is cross-site scripting. Here, this attack inject the malicious scripts into web pages, and which are then executed by victim browsers. This allow the attackers to steal the session cookies, and it is going to redirect the users to deface the websites. And what is a preventive technique for this cross-site scripting is we have to implement the input validation, and we have to use secure coding practices, and we have to also employ the content security policy. These are all required whenever if we need all these things. And the next type of attack is packet sniffing. Eavesdropping involves the unauthorized inception of network traffic to capture the sensitive information. Like whenever, especially we may get the loss of the user data, okay, username, password, as well as some financial data also can be there, okay. And whenever if we, what is a preventive technique for this eavesdropping is we have to use encryption protocols like VPN as well as HTTPS. Without having the proper security, we should not open any website, okay. And we have to employ the network segmentation, and we have to regularly monitor the suspicious activities. All these things are mandatory. Without all these transactions, we should not go further, okay. And zero-day exploits. This is also one type of network attack. It is going to target mainly the vulnerabilities in the software or hardware that are not yet known also. Okay, and attackers especially these vulnerabilities before a fix or patches up. That means to overcome all these problems, we have to keep the system updated always, and we have to apply the security patches promptly, and we have to use the intrusion detection system also. All these things are mandatory. Now, to prevent this zero-day exploits target or any other virus, we have to keep the system to be, the software to be updated, and we have to apply all the security patches promptly, and we have to use the proper intrusion systems. Now, the other type of this virus is like we have the social engineering. It involves manipulating individuals into giving as well as the confidential information or performing the actions that may compromise the security. And the prevention technique for the social engineering is we have to conduct the security awareness training, and we have to encourage the skepticism and establish a clear communication policies. Now, the other type of attack which we are seeing regularly is brute force attacks. These attacks involve systematically attempting all possible combination of passwords until the correct one is found, okay, often by automated tools. Now, to overcome this problem, what will be the solution? We have to make the proper strong password should be there, and we have to implement the account lockout mechanism, and we have to use a multi-factor authentication, okay. And whenever if we have network security, here the effective network, what will be the solution to overcome with the attacks which will come for the network are, now we have to make the effective secure network security requires a combination of technical measures, user education, as well as some ongoing monitoring to detect and respond to evolving threats.